Good morning, doctor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Venkatesh. Nice to be back again. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, absolutely. So,
Okay. Yeah.
So today's topic is handling setbacks and the quality that is required for it, which is resilience. The reason why this is part of our series is that uh, setbacks are inevitable in all our lives, right? In small things and big things. We set up some resolution, we said we'll do something, something comes in the way, or we have some career plan, something else comes in the way. So, unless we know how to take them in our stride and keep moving forward, we cannot lead full and well balanced lives. Yes, and that's why we thought we'll handle that topic of handling setbacks. Over to you, Doc.
Good. Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you, Venkatesh. The topic is very good, and it is already provoking us to take care of all setbacks. The biggest and the worst setback for anybody, for any baby, for any tiny tot.
Right.
So right at the time of birth, like many of the qualities that we see, the human qualities and the necessary setbacks or whatever prosperity or whatever starts right at birth.
Right.
So you don't wait for the age of 7 or 8 or 10 or 20 before you say, okay, that's the realities of life. Realities of life bring us a lot of setbacks.
Right.
The first setback that I mentioned is about the very first breath the baby is taking.
Correct.
The baby takes the first breath, and there is a time period between the mother or the doctor clamping down on the umbilical cord and lets the baby free.
Correct.
And that during that moment, the immediate takeover doesn't happen.
Correct.
The takeover of the baby's breathing or baby's oxygenation.
Own system. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a gap of a few minutes, sometimes even a bit longer, when the baby stops breathing and there is no breath as such.
Correct.
And the umbilical cord has been cut. Correct. And the baby now lift on its own.
Correct.
This is a very, very crucial period. Correct. And childbirth, which looks very normal and very easy, the biggest threat is the baby not being able to take the first breath.
Correct. Correct.
So forth. So that's the very first setback that the baby and the doctor and the nurse face.
Right.
And if you overcome that, then it's okay. So don't take that. Your first breath is easy, no, not at all. The first
you can't take it for granted. Yes, exactly. Correct.
Not with the immense dangers. You do or die, like that for the baby.
Correct.
So setbacks, life starts with setbacks.
Correct.
You like it or not, life doesn't appear with rosy things about cinema looking mother and whatever.
The rose tinted, a whole rose tinted. Correct.
Yeah. They romanticize the first breath, but that is the most tricky and the most dangerous first breath, which is the first set. The baby has to learn to overcome that setback.
Correct.
So,
very good point. Yeah, doctor, because actually you can view the removal of the umbilical cord as a setback, right? Because till that point in time, that support was there. You cut it and it's gone, and it's a setback that you are not being given everything directly, and now you have to take over. That's a setback. But exactly like you said, without that, you can't move forward.
Right. Very true. Very true. So already the baby is equipped with setback mechanisms. There is other infection-related things and so forth.
Correct.
And the baby is now on its comeback course.
Correct.
Visible to anybody. The mother takes it away, cooing and cooing with the baby. But that's all fine. The first breath is the first breath of danger.
Correct.
Okay, whenever the baby comes back,
or any of us comes back.
Person comes back. The coming back is a little more dramatic and it's always stronger. Because if you don't come back with a stronger mechanism, then you're not likely to succeed, and it could be life-threatening, etc., etc. So the comeback, right, the time of birth onwards, the comeback is always stronger than the setback.
Correct.
Not always happen. So the comeback may be pretty bad if you are not well equipped. But
Correct.
the normally equipped baby and the mother and the parents and even the society,
Correct.
they expect the thing to be stronger than the earlier deficit, like that.
No, it's a very important point, doctor, because that's how you become stronger. Because you have to be stronger than the setback, and you will do what it takes to overcome the setback when it is about survival, and that's how you become stronger. Very good point. Yeah,
Right,
you have
right,
to have
right,
a comeback stronger than the setback. Less strong than
right,
the setback is not enough. Then there is no comeback. Correct.
right, right. Very true, very true. No, and a modern example of adult psychology and physiology lies in the life of Thomas Alva Edison,
Correct.
the great Edisonian, whatever, giant kind of a scientist those days in
Correct.
Ohio
Correct.
State. He was the strongest man, and his stocks ran very high in New York Stock Exchange,
Correct.
and he was at one point in time the strongest fellow in
Correct.
Ohio, and
Correct.
so forth. So, but he uh, had his setback.
Correct.
Now, it's not that handed to him on a silver platter.
Correct.
Hmm? Thomas Alva Edison failed 99% of the times he tried to set up the bulb.
Correct.
Hmm?
Correct.
He could have failed and then he could have dropped everything and gone to the village or something, but he did not.
Correct.
He kept at it. Number one bulb will fail, he'll say no problem. Number two bulb is there. Number two bulb fails, no problem. Number three bulb is there. So this went on and on and on, so that even his you know parents and others were wondering whether this fellow has lost his head.
Correct.
In 99 times he is failing to light the bulb, and
And yet he's
still he
persisting with it. Correct. But that
still he's
persistence, yeah, kept on producing newer versions, better versions, little by little by little.
right. So till he
Absolutely.
arrived at this tungsten wire. Tungsten wire gave him the medium for starting a spark, and
Right.
then that's
Or a sustainable fellow. Yeah.
electric bulb came into existence then.
Yeah.
So today, starting with not only this electric bulb, with almost anything and everything in life,
Right.
anything related to electricity
Correct.
has its origin in Thomas Edison.
Right.
Putting it in a comment, Venkatesh?
No, absolutely. I think anything of, you use the Edison example, but literally anything you take up, it required, hundreds of tries to get it right. And life itself, I guess, evolution itself is so many iterations before you get, before you create the DNA that we are today, right? So absolutely. Unless there is persistence, you can't survive, you cannot come back.
Right. So putting it in different words, a setback is a setup for comeback. It rhymes
Yes.
well, sounds
Correct.
good.
Yeah.
So the setback is a setup.
Correct.
Somebody is setting up things for you. It could be God, could be his fellow countrymen or whatever.
Correct.
Setback sets up the stage
Correct.
for a comeback. And without a setback, there is no
Come
comeback.
back. Correct.
Play of words, yes, but truth, yes.
But a very important one. Yeah. I think, like you said, like the very first example you gave was a very good example, right? The cutting of the umbilical cord can, there are many umbilical cords in our lives which, when they are severed, metaphorically, we see them as setbacks. But if we don't sever them and move forward, we will never move forward, right? So that comeback from that setback is crucial, even if that's many more uses of that word.
Yeah. Right. This setback and comeback business happened in my father's life when his lecturership ended. And then he was waiting for some other job, and he was not getting it about a fortnight or so. So everybody was in tenterhooks,
Tenterhooks.
And
Correct.
finally, they came back. The comeback came back.
Correct.
So that is how this career started, and we all brothers and sisters were benefited by that.
Yeah.
So that
The
is
second career came from a setback of literally not having anything in hand. Correct.
Right. So you start with a zero and then things move like that.
Yeah.
So to have a comeback, you have to have a setback. It's the same corollary or same aphorism, if you like, put in a different way, in a more dramatic way. If you want to come back, you have to have a setback. Yeah. Etc.
Yeah. Now, summarizing, I guess, till here, before we move forward, we have made the point that from every setback, you can only go past it with something stronger. And you become stronger only through that. You cannot do that unless a setback has happened. And that is why setbacks and the ability to handle them are so important. Absolutely. Yes.
Right. Very true. Very true. Very true. Okay, now there is a famous example of King of England and King of Scotland,
Correct.
in a war with each other.
Correct.
And, this King of Scotland was gaining ground, and King of England had to run, taking shelter.
No, I think it was the
And,
reverse. Yeah, it was King of Scotland was on the run. Yeah, that is
okay,
correct.
okay,
No
right.
problem. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So this fellow was running away from his enemy,
Correct.
and he didn't know what to do. He went into a cave, thinking that he will escape the attack of the enemy.
Right.
Now it happened in a way, but it also had a different side effect.
Right.
This kid who was in hiding,
Correct.
uh, just looking at the ceiling and the roof and this and that, and then he observed a spider, hmm,
Right.
trying to weave a web
Correct.
and failing. Like Thomas Edison failed 99 times. And this
Correct.
King Bruce failed 8 times or whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever number of times, each failure was a very enormously significant event.
Correct.
And he was watching the spider, and
Right.
the spider tried, and tried again. As the
Correct.
English the proverb says, try again. That's a
Correct. Till
very
you succeed.
poetic
Correct.
way of putting it.
Correct.
And King Bruce lived through that.
Got it.
He would have, at the end of the third or fourth try, he could have left and then gone
Correct.
and been attacked by the enemy. So
He
he
could have
said, I will
surrendered.
stick it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had every incentive to surrender and just roll over. Correct.
right, right. So King Bruce and the spider was a famous example of how repeated attempts,
Correct.
in a positive sense, yielded the results.
Correct.
Hmm? Try,
He's
try, try.
seeing that. Yeah, he's seeing that spider in the cave. Literally, he emerged from the cave. He was almost about to give up and said, no, I have to follow that spider's example and keep at it. And then he actually established the first Scottish kingdom. Correct.
Right, right. So once again, bounce back, stronger. Any bouncing back is stronger. Okay,
Correct.
that is take that as the lesson.
Correct.
If you bounce back, you will be strong. If you don't bounce back, you won't be strong. Very simple, but very eloquent way of looking at bouncing back and strength.
Yeah.
So bounce
And I
back.
think an important one that we are about to set up through this new word is bounce. Bounce
Yeah,
is very useful. Correct.
right, very true.
The bounce is not just about rigidity. You need to be flexible enough to bounce.
Right, very true, very true.
Yeah.
So, never say die is another English expression
Correct.
which tells the reader or the viewer that never give up anything.
Right.
Never say die.
Correct.
So it's not a very Indian way of putting it, but it's a very British, English, American way of living, saying things.
Correct.
And it's a proverbial kind of a statement. Never say
Correct.
die. Somebody, I don't know what to do, but I'll give up and all that. You say, oh, never should I say, never say die. You
Correct.
know, this was the ruling instinct for centuries, literally. But today, people don't go by proverbs like this, but they go by electronic, meta and such things. But never say die is
Is
the
another
inward.
expression of the same. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
That basically don't give up no matter what. Correct.
yeah. Keep your drive going.
Correct.
And every breath you take, you keep saying, never say die. I won't say die. I won't say die. You may be facing death, you
Correct.
know. Uh, there are stories or real life stories about how the Second World War captive, this it's not exactly World War directly,
Yeah,
but
but you mean I think the concentration camp inmates like
yeah,
Victor
yeah,
Frankl and so on.
yeah.
Correct.
So hundreds and thousands and even millions were dying or
Correct.
being put to death. Hmm?
Correct.
And this fellow was watching the whole thing, but he somehow stuck to it.
Correct.
And that resilience is something enormous. You see death all around you.
Correct.
Hmm? North, south, east, or west. It's only death. There are only
Correct.
dead bodies everywhere.
Correct.
So any other fellow would have just given up, in
Or lost his
desperation.
mind. Correct.
Yeah. So resilience was the quality
Right.
that kept this fellow alive. I forget his name now.
Viktor Frankl. Are you talking about Viktor Frankl?
Frankl.
Yeah, logotherapy. I
Absolutely.
thought as much. Yeah, I thought that's what
Frankl.
you were alluding. Correct.
Yeah, Viktor Frankl. And that resilience was, mind-boggling.
Correct.
When people were dying and there was nobody to bury the dead bodies, nobody to burn the dead bodies, and only death.
Correct.
You know, morning and evening only death, death and death. That
Correct.
is a extraordinarily damaging frame of mind that
He could
comes
have
out of
gotten
it.
into. Correct.
Yeah,
And instead, he created this work on the meaning of life, and that purpose is what
yeah,
keeps
he
people
wrote,
going.
he wrote a book. Then he went back to his clinic and did his residency, or he took care
His
of
research work
patients.
on that. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
imagine somebody dying, seeing death around everywhere, and then he is coming back and saving lives.
Correct.
It was really something.
Correct.
What is really resilience?
Correct.
Any comment, Venkatesh?
No,
Any comment?
absolutely. I think thus far we've been building up to this point that this quality, it's something we can build. This ability to bounce back, we are about to discuss that, is
Right.
crucial, and people have demonstrated it in the worst of circumstances, like Viktor Frankl. Right? I mean, what worse circumstance can there be than to be in a place where you're being all herded for death, and to be able
Right.
then to not just work on a new and so many other, I mean, he's one. And then, for example, the Trachtenberg principle of like speed mathematics was developed by another guy sitting in a concentration camp. So in that kind of
Huh?
adversity, people came up with mind blowing new things. So the
Yeah.
quality is resilience. Yes. So moving forward, I guess
Yeah.
we are going to discuss how we
Yeah.
build this quality. Yeah.
Yeah. So the characteristics of resilience are as follows.
Correct.
Hmm? It is embodying a process of adapting well in the face of adversity.
Adversity. Correct. So yeah. I'll read
Sorry,
it for
sorry
you.
for that.
Yeah. I'll read it for
Read
you.
it for-
Process of
yeah.
adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, or significant stress.
So yeah, correct. So
Any
process of
kind of
adapting.
adversity or stress or trauma. Correct.
Yeah. So resilience is what process of adapting after the really very
These
bad
kinds of
exposure to the stress.
adversity. Correct.
Yeah.
So I
So
think an
next
important
slide.
point before we
Yeah.
move on is clearly that's why we were saying this adapting is what resilience is a
Yeah.
lot about, right? Bouncing.
Correct.
It is about being able to
Yeah.
say, okay, whatever it is, we will deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see adapting even in terms of Charles Darwin, who was talking about,
All
uh,
evolution is
the
adapting. Yeah.
yeah, they're adapting. You keep adapting, keep
Correct.
changing. Adapting is
Correct.
changing. Keep
Correct.
changing. Change is the only constant in life, as we always say, and
Correct.
we agree. So
And in many
that's
sessions, we
life.
have been talking about that, right? That you need to
Yeah,
accept, you need to adapt. That is a very central
yeah,
part of dealing with a setback and resilience. Yes. Yes, doctor.
right. So here is sort of a saying, proverbial saying, if you like.
Right.
Hmm? Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind?
Correct.
This is a very positive and optimistic way of looking at life.
Correct.
Hmm? There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, we say. There is a
Correct.
tunnel which is dark, dark, and at the end of the tunnel, there is a light.
Correct.
So it's like, there is never a tunnel without a light,
Correct.
and so forth.
Correct.
There is
Correct.
never a cloud without a silver lining.
Correct.
Each cloud has its own silver lining, and so forth.
Correct.
You're looking at the positive things with the strength of character,
Correct.
character conviction that you keep at it, like
Correct.
your Thomas Edison, Bruce. Hmm? And winter comes, can spring come too? And it
Correct.
does.
Correct.
So there's a cyclical way of looking at things in the
Yeah.
Indian philosophy.
Correct.
Hmm?
And
So
this too
it's
shall
never one way.
pass. Yeah. This is the
Yeah,
positive use of the word this too shall pass, right? Nothing is constant,
yeah,
but neither is adversity
yeah,
constant. Yeah. And it's very difficult to
yeah.
remember that, but one has to remember that when one is in adversity, that even adversity is not permanent.
Right. This too shall pass. That's
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
So another linear way of expressing resilience. Hmm?
Right.
You'll read it from you, Ankur. Nurture a
Yeah.
positive view.
Right.
First, you start with a positive view, you nurture it, and then move
Yes.
towards, you have to nurture your positive feeling. If
Correct.
you don't nurture it, will die. You'll snuff it
Correct.
out by inaction.
Correct.
You know, uh, And so you have to make it grow.
Correct.
And then with growth comes, with positive outcome. Ultimately, we have to come through that.
Correct.
And then you have to make connections, not exactly in management terms,
Correct.
make connections with resources,
Correct.
whatever resource you have, connect with
Correct.
it,
Correct.
connect with it. Accept that change uh,
Part of life.
is a part. Accept it. Then you have to accept, okay, here the glass is half full. Okay, if it is half full, it is half full. If it is half
Correct.
empty, it's half empty. Accept
Correct.
it.
Correct.
And so that is there, and then you take a positive action. Now,
Correct.
ultimately, action, as Venkatesh would repeatedly say, ultimately everything has to depend on the actions you take. A karma yoga, your Bhagavad Gita moment.
Correct.
Hmm?
Correct.
Unless it is action, it is only theory, and theory only leads to more theory.
Correct.
So it
Correct.
doesn't really make you anything
Correct.
better.
Correct.
So take decisive action. That
Correct.
is the uh, ultimate resilience in practical day-to-day situations.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very, very
Comrade
important
Venkatesh?
slide. Actually, I would say almost the heart of our talk today, because this is how you can practice building your resilience and dealing with setbacks, right? That you have to nurture. I
Right,
think each of these topics at some level you've been touching on in many of your talks. You have to build your strengths. This is one of our very early talks. So this is your point on nurture a positive view and help your strengths grow and be action oriented.
right,
Keep adapting because you have to accept change. If you don't accept it and resist it, there is going to be a problem. Perfect. Perfect.
right. That's what Bhagavad Gita said.
Correct.
Mate sangostu akar.
Correct.
Inaction is not the answer.
Correct.
Inaction is detrimental.
Correct.
So
The more you
mate
act, the more.
sanga.
Correct.
Yeah. And here you see a picture of a lady uh, jumping on a trampoline with her
Yes.
son.
Correct.
This is a trampoline. The trampoline principle is simple.
Correct.
You give a small jump, you get a small jump. You
Correct.
give a big one, you get a big one. So, it is, जैसे करनी वैसे भरनी, they say, So,
Yes.
you jump on the trampoline, say 6 inches, you
Correct.
get 6 inches back.
Correct.
You jump on it for 12 inches, you get 12 inches back. Do and
No,
you
I
get
think
it.
the
You
very,
don't.
very, yeah, this is a very important point. I just want that you are making across the last two or three slides, which I just want to, emphasize. Many people think things like resilience is all about, you have to be very serious. You are being ground into the dust. You have to grit your teeth. But I like the analogy of bouncing and a trampoline, right? You can remain
Yeah,
flexible, positive, and keep bouncing, right? And not take anything as a very big setback or too seriously is also a good way of building your resilience.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, because otherwise,
The
the mental
higher
picture
the
people have of resilience and grit, right? Grit, the word grit goes with resilience. It is literally about gritting your
right,
teeth, right? That
right, right.
under duress, you must somehow just it's all about managing negative. That is not necessarily true. In fact, it is very often
Yeah.
you can get a lot of positive bounce.
Yeah, yeah. And in trampoline, jumping is the only way out.
Positive
You can't
action.
get out of it
Yes. Correct.
unless you jump.
Correct.
So you jump higher, faster, better, and so forth.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so that is an I
Yeah.
like this picture, so I said yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. Good one. Yep.
Yeah. Now there are moments when you are at the literally, in a sort of a bouncing back situation again, talking about that.
Match point.
And
Yeah.
then, unless you act, you don't win. Like in tennis, for example,
Correct.
every game has a moment of truth,
Correct.
hmm, which you have to go through and survive. And a good example of this kind of moment of truth is when you are serving a match point or when you are receiving a match point.
Correct.
Now, match point is a time when if you don't win that point, you have lost it.
Right.
So if you want to stay alive, stay active, you have to follow the trampoline principle
Yeah.
and you have to bounce back. Then how do you bounce back? Then you have to strategize. Now, the
Correct.
strategize in tennis is different from strategizing elsewhere. But this moment of truth comes in every
Correct.
game, in every activity in life. So this is called the match point or championship point. If it is big,
Correct.
if it is Wimbledon, you are at the 40 love or something. and you're about to get crushed.
Correct.
So that is your match point.
Correct.
And match point is the point of decisive end result.
Correct.
You do it or die, do or
Right.
die, that kind of thing.
Right.
And people have come. The interesting part is that great tennis players, right from Rod Laver, who was almost the
Right.
first of the giants of tennis,
Right.
to Pete Sampras and all other people that followed,
Correct.
they go through that match point.
Yeah.
So
They can come back from a
they
match point against them, right? Those 5-set
yeah,
matches, in the third set you're
yeah,
down, and then you come all the way back and win the next 2.5 sets and win. Yes,
right,
absolutely.
yeah.
No, I think a very
So
important point, because we'll just use this slide to talk about a couple of these. Well, I think this match point is about quite often choking, right? What they call choking under pressure. And very
yeah,
often to the point about coming back from match point, right? When the match point is against you, let's say in the third set, and you stretch the match for 5 sets and come back, a very
right,
important part is to just keep playing one ball at a time, right? Or other not,
right,
or 1 point at a time. So sort of not getting too focused on that's again karma yoga, I guess. That don't get too hung up on the
right.
match point. Just play the next point and play the next point and play the next point is
Yeah,
part of
yeah. That's a
resilience.
highly focused karma. Focused karma.
Correct.
All your karma is concentrated onto one point, like that.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So here the important thing is to have retain the power of positive thinking. Now,
Correct.
at the match point, many of our Indian tennis players like Ramanathan Krishnan and Jaydeep, whatever. So these fellows, the moment they are in the final decisive set, they
Right.
lose their mind power.
Right.
You know, they go, no, I won't win. This fellow is going to beat me. I'm going to win.
Right.
He's
I'm
not
going to
going to
lose.
do
He will
like
win.
that.
I'm going to lose.
So
Correct.
yeah, so you have to keep your mindset positive.
Correct.
That is the trickiest thing. In fact, they say in many of the major tournaments, whether it is pole vaulting or hop step and jumping, or just cricket or
Correct.
whatever, uh, unless you concentrate all your power
Correct.
into a positive vibe,
Correct.
you cannot survive. So,
Yeah.
then
Cricket,
at
our
that point in
national.
time, any,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
No, I think in
yeah,
cricket, because it's our national passion, across the
yeah,
decades, right? These have been so popularly seen on television. From Sunil Gavaskar going
right,
to West Indies in the 70s and sort of saying that, against all those pace bowlers, I will not wear a helmet and take a positive
right,
stance and play his shots, right? All the way to Saurav
right,
Ganguly, and then to, Virat Kohli and Dhoni and so on. This whole thing of,
right.
there used to be an image that people will lose their nerve. Progressively you found the team sort of being able to win by saying, no, we are good, we will win, right? And that positive thinking helped in changing our performance.
Right, right. Very true, very true.
This is the last slide,
So
I think.
that
Yeah.
moment you have to say, can you do it? Yes, I can. Now this is American expression again. It was coined by one of the presidents for his sort of return to office,
Re-election. Yeah.
yeah, re-election. So people said, can you do it? Can you do it? And many people said, I'm not sure if I can do it. So if you are in the half limbo, half reality situation,
Yeah.
they have to concentrate everything onto positivity and
Yeah.
then say, put your foot down and say, yes, I can. I
Correct.
can win like that. This
Correct.
you can see right from presidents like McGovern and whatever. So yes, I can became a good coined word for
Correct.
positive thinking, and that kept on. Today it may not be a very popular expression. Yes, I
Right.
can was ruling the positive mindset of people for at least a decade or so. Yes,
Correct.
I can became a big word,
Correct.
and that is how the positive thinking was
Can
focused
feed
on
into
to action.
resilience. Correct. Feed into
Yeah,
action.
like that.
Correct. So,
So,
great,
Venkat,
doctor.
any comment?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll summarize then. I think this is the
Yes,
last
yes,
slide.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
So starting with the last one, I guess, we've overall discussed really one part of the phenomenon of handling setbacks. There can be
Right.
other discussions on this, and basically about accepting setbacks, right? Setbacks are a normal part of life. Like Dr. You so well, you explained so well. Life starts with the setback of being severed from the umbilical cord, right? And that
Right.
setback has to be gone through for a baby to become an independent entity. So starting all the way from there, setbacks are the only way we emerge stronger. And we emerge stronger because we have to develop enough qualities or enough strength to overcome the previous setback. That's how we become the next level. Uh, the
Right.
best way to do that is to have a mindset of adapting, acceptance, and building your resilience. We discuss resilience at some length, that it is about actually nurturing your strengths, accepting the change, and then taking action, right? And that's why the trampoline and the ball example, that you just keep moving forward, keep acting, you will get benefits out of it. So this last slide, I guess,
Right.
which, we talk about the power of positive thinking. They say, whether you think you can't or you think you can, you're right. So if you think you can't, you won't. If you think you can, you will. Uh, and we have
Yeah.
not covered it today, but in another session, we can cover how all of this, in fact, you have covered it in other sessions, how Karma Yoga and actually saying that, look, I'm just an instrument, can help you build that resilience, right? We touched on it today. It can even be part of another session. In fact, an early session on faith, we talked about how faith really helps you. Faith in something, right? Faith in something larger, faith in the principle of Karma Yoga and so on. Yes, doctor?
Yes, absolutely, Venkatesh. Thank you.
Awesome. Great topic. And look forward to the next one. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care.